Hey there, Prof. Aram here, and in this video I'm going to go over the concept of discounted payback period. So let's get to it. As you recall, one of the disadvantages of the payback period was that we are ignoring time value of money and we're just subtracting the nominal cash flows of the project from its cost today. So in the discounted payback period method, we are going to solve that issue by first computing the present value of each of the future cash flows and then subtract those present values from the cost and then find the new discounted payback period. The decision rule is similar. We are going to accept a project if it pays back on a discounted basis within a specific period of time, the management number. So let's look at an example. This is our previous cash flows that we had. We had $165,000 cost of the project today and $63,000 in year one, $70,800 in year two, and then $91,080 in year three. If your discount rate is 12%, that means that the present value of cash flow one, this 63,120 divided by 1 plus the discount rate raised to the power of 1 should be 56,357. Present value of cash flow 2 would be this one, 70,800 over 1 over the 1 plus the rate raised to the power of 2. That's 56,441. And the cash flow 3 PV is going to be 64,829. Now that we have the present value of each cash flow based on the firm's discount rate, we are going to subtract them from the cost of the project. So 165,000. This is for year 1, 2, 3. 165,000 minus the present value of year 1 cash flow, 56,357. That gives you 108, 643. And then since you haven't reached 0, you can keep going. 108, 643 minus the present value of the second year cash flow, 56,441. It gives you 52,202. The present value of the third cash flow is 64,829. And so we don't need all of that. We just need a portion of this. So we do 52,202 over present value of the third year cash flow, which is 0.81. So the discounted payback period would be 2 years plus 0.81 year. And it makes sense to have a payback period on a discounted basis that is longer than the original 2.34 years of payback period. Since the cash flows in present value terms are smaller, it takes longer for the project to pay back on a discounted basis rather than the nominal basis. So the discounted payback period is always longer than regular payback period. So let's look at some of the questions that we need to answer for each decision criteria. Does the decision rule consider all the cash flows of the project? The answer is still no. As soon as you reach the discounted payback period, you're going to ignore the rest of the cash flows. Does it account for the time value of money? The answer is yes. Does it account for the risk of the cash flows? No. And does it provide an indication about the increase in the value of the firm? And the answer is again no. Basically, all you're doing is solving the payback period, the time value of money issue. And since you've already calculated the present value of the future cash flows, then why not use the NPV? You go through all this trouble to calculate the present value of the future cash flows, and then you find the discounted payback period. You can actually find the NPV with the information that you already have. So you might as well calculate the NPV instead of the discounted payback period. To me, it doesn't add much value when you do the discounted payback period, because it's not as simple as payback period anymore, and you might as well calculate the more sophisticated and more theoretically sound measure of NPV rather than just payback period. So if you want to use a quick and easy method, just use payback period. Discounted payback period to me doesn't add much value, because you go through all this trouble, you might as well find the NPV. I hope you find this video useful, and thanks for watching.